Okay, get started.
Go.
Okay, call to order, pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance to the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay,
Okay, we will do the roll call vote. Do you want to introduce?
Yeah, and I would like to welcome a new member tonight, Mr. David Brander, and wish him luck and hope he serves well.
Okay, so now I'll do the roll call. Chairman Zafar,
Present?
new member David Brandon, Richard Berger,
here,
Joe Strulovitz,
Here.
Marty Cavell.
I'm here.
Now for the minutes. These are the September minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
11. Second. All in favor? Except for Mr. Brandon, because he wasn't present.
okay,
Next,
All right.
continue.
item 5.
Okay, continued public hearing on the application of Sheriff's Miriam of Rockland County Incorporated, religious corporation located at 46 Campbell Avenue. Applicant requested an adjournment to the Thursday, December 11th, 2025, ZBA meeting. Next, continued public hearing on the application of the Pride of the Sephardic Heritage
So can you do it?
Center
Can
Charitable
you
Trust.
approve the,
Ferris Store 2 and 3,
No,
Foster Court.
wait, before you go to two
Oh,
and
we
three,
need to,
you need to motion.
yeah,
But before you motion, we need to come to terms with the date, because I just found out the chairman cannot
Okay.
make on the 11th. So we have to adjourn it to a different date, so
Okay.
I don't
Be
know what
determined.
date you were looking at.
I prefer the 10th.
Dan, can you do the 10th of
That'll be,
December?
Thursday would be
The
Wednesday.
10th is a Monday.
December 10th is a Wednesday.
I'm sorry, I'm looking in November, I apologize, thank you. You cannot?
Happened surgery the day before.
Oh,
Can you do Monday the 8th? Yeah. No, they did September. They did September, and he said they did September. Yeah, there's September meeting minutes we did. And there were the September meeting, the meeting you're talking about was October, those were the two before them, yeah.
Is it ready tonight?
No, it will not be tonight. I mean, everything is, that they will be approved, but I'm still working on the draft. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but any night except for 11th, because I'm on an airplane.
What works for you, Darrell?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Is that-
till the 17th.
Because we can't adjourn those until we have a date.
How about a week before?
There's court, the problem is there's court on the 4th, so we can't do the 4th. Can you do Tuesday the 2nd?
I have no problem.
Yep, does that work?
That work for
Does that
you?
work for you?
Yeah.
Does that work for the board? Tuesday, December 2nd?
For me, it works.
Okay, all right, so now you can make the motion to adjourn.
No, answer.
Does that work for Joel?
Second Tuesday, the second,
Because the first would be the 2, right?
December,
Okay.
Tuesday, I'm
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, no problem. I thought
Done.
this,
Okay, so now we need a motion to continue, oh, no, I'm sorry, to accept the adjournment and continue to Tuesday, December 2nd.
I vote aye. Do I get a second?
I'll second.
right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and this is for the adjournment request for 46, Shiraz Miriam of Rockland County, Inc., 46 Campbell. Does that work for you, Paul?
Yeah,
Okay, December 2nd.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And that would be at 8 PM here at Village Hall. Okay. I'm sorry, so go ahead, Richard Berger.
Continued public hearing on the application of the Sparta Heritage Center Charitable Trust of Paris Astoria 2 and 3 Fosse Court for a lot merger. Special permit in the site plan approval to establish an educational institution with accessory housing requiring variances. Property consists of 2 tax lots located in 2 and 3 Fosse Court in the R35 zoning district. Educational institution with accessory housings are permitted use in R35 zoning district subject to the issuance of a special permit by the planning board in accordance with 210-97 and 210-119 of the zoning code. Properties are currently improved in existing single-family residence. The applicant is seeking to merge the lots and convert 2 Fosse to a school and 3 Fosse into a dormitory for 30 students, 10 of which will be over 16 of age. All students will live on site. Students are not permitted to have cars. There will be no buses for students to and from the school. Minimal transportation is necessary. The project will require the following variances from Article 3, Section 210-16, and Table of Bulk Requirement 210, Attachment 6, Table 3, and Article 12, Section 119 of the zoning code, and special permit requirements as follows. 210-19, a variance required for minimum lot size less than 10 acres, site is 1.76 acres. 210-119, A4, variance required for front setback from a public right-of-way of less than 250 feet. 52.8 feet is provided to 2 Fosse Court, and 58.1 is provided to 3 Fosse Court. 210-119, variance required for a side setback less than 100 feet. 60.4 is provided to 2 Fosse, and 44.4 is provided to 3 Fosse Court. A total setback, side setback of less than 200 feet, 104.8 feet proposed. 210-119A6, variance required for a minimum rear setback less than 100 feet. 87.3 is provided to 2 Fosse, and 99 is provided to 3 Fosse. 210-119A7, variance required for less than 25 feet setback to an internal roadway. 210-119, 9, variance required for greater than 25% developmental coverage in a residential district, 35% proposed. 210-119C4, variance for less than the minimum parkway, spacing of 32 or 40, 20 provided. 210-119B3, a variance from setbacks from playing fields to the neighbor's street and property lines of a minimum of 250. 10 foot is provided to the rear of the lot line. Both properties are located at the south side of Fosse Court, approximately 230 feet west of Darby Road. The lots of the Town of Ramapo tax map are designated as Section 62-07, -2-38 and 39, located in the R35 zoning district, and are comprised of 1.76 acres. The properties are located at 2 and 3 Fosse Court, Fairmont, New York, 10952.
Let's make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public
Second.
hearing.
Do we want to have the attorneys present anything first? That's typically what we've always done.
Yeah.
You want to read that whole thing into the record?
No, I would just like to give a brief overview of the presentation from last time. And just one other correction. When we made this application, we had not only requested the 8 variants that Mr. Berger read off, but we had requested 7 additional variances because we weren't sure if we needed them. It was raised at the planning board by a member of the public that was a planner, was retained by one of the neighbors to oppose the application, and they pointed out these additional 7 variances that they thought we needed, and we asked for those just as an abundance of caution. Since then, we've got determination from the building inspector with regard to these variances, and one addition of the 7 additional that we asked for, only one is needed, and that's a variance to exceed the maximum, to exceed maximum number of 2 stories. Because the house that the dormitory is going to be in is 3 stories. Your code limits to 2 stories. and that's an additional variance, correct?
I don't believe that's true.
No, I believe Rachel said something to Lou, or was that
sprinkler.
something else?
Well, I think that was for whether you can have bedrooms in the
Right.
basement.
Right,
Correct.
that's.
And that you said no, but I think with regard to 2 stories, your opinion was that, yeah, it's 3 stories.
Oh, it's definitely 3 stories,
Right.
because the first one is above grade,
Right.
And it's sprinkled.
well, it's not sprinkled yet.
But that's from a building standpoint. From a zoning standpoint, the code limits the height of a dormitory to 2 stories. So I just want to point that out for the record, that of the 7 additional variances requested, only 1 of them is needed to exceed 2 stories. So let me give you a quick background. I know the board is familiar with it. We do have a new member. So these are 2 existing single-family homes on Fosse Court. The plan is to merge the lots as you indicated. One will be used as a school, the other will be used as a dormitory for 30 students. The students, as you know, don't drive, they have no cars, so there's no traffic. There's been a full traffic impact study done at the planning board. No impacts were identified as a result of traffic, and no impacts of any environmental conditions were found to be significant, and the planning board rendered a negative declaration. No changes are being made to these structures. From an outward appearance, they will appear as 2 single-family homes. We're not adding, we're not putting any additions on. The only thing that's changing is, if you'll note, is that we're adding some parking that's required by code. We've submitted some 55, 56 letters in support of the application and the school, and the letters attest to the dedication and commitment of the students and their good character. Many expressed the need for the school, and it's going to be one of the only educational institutions for Sephardic Jews in the United States. This facility is needed to serve the Sephardic Jewish community. It's one of the only places for Sephardic Jews to be educated. Unlike Ashkenazi Jews that have many schools and places of worship in the area and in the country, this will be the only school in the county for Sephardic Jews. It's a rarity in this part of the hemisphere, and it is absolutely needed. The bulk requirements for this use, as I've indicated in the past, are rather extensive. They're really designed for a institutional type environment where you're talking about like a college campus or a huge school that's going to house many, many students. We don't have that here. We have 2 single-family homes. The students will live in the single-family home. They're going to basically occupy it and live there as if they're a single-family unit. They're going to take their meals in common with each other. They're going to share the common spaces. And for all intents and purposes, they qualify as a single family because it's any number of unrelated people can reside in a premises, and as long as they conduct themselves as a single housekeeping unit, they're considered a single family unit. As you know, with the area next door is the Hammerspeak, right on the corner of Fosse and was it Darby? And then across the street is another synagogue that also is part of the block. As I indicated, we did ask for 15 variances. 8 we know we needed. There were the other 7 that we weren't sure. And as we indicated, or as I indicated, we do need that 1 additional variance for the exceeding 2 stories. There are no lots, and I've made this clear many times, there are no lots in the village of Airmont that are 10 acres in size. So unless relief is granted by this board, no dormitories would ever be allowed in the village, and it would be effectively exclude dormitories anywhere in the village. These high standards for educational institutions with dormitories were designed to deal with college-like campuses. The law does not provide for smaller schools such as Yeshiva Gedola or this one. The dormitory, as I indicated, is going to remain for all intents and purposes a single-family dwelling, no new structures, no additions. So the character of the community is basically going to stay the way it is in terms of its look and its feel. I guess that's about all I wanted to go through, unless the board wants us to walk you through the variances one more time and point them out to you again.
A number of items. First of all, when you're going from 2 stories to 3 stories, probably the reason the code does not allow 3 stories is probably a factor of safety, factor of being able to evacuate the building. A variance is not going to solve that problem, not in my opinion anyway.
From a building standpoint,
yeah,
a
from a
building
safety-
code standpoint, it's going to comply with all building requirements in
Are
the
there-
state of New York and the village of Airmont. We're not talking about a 3-story structure. The only reason why it's 3 stories is because the basement is considered a story. So, you know, you have
How
the
many
basement and you have 2
entrances-
stories above
And
it.
how many exits are there in the basement? You have these-
I don't have the building plans in front of me, but they will meet the New York State Building Code. They
For
obviously have to
occupancy?
have adequate exits and entrances, and the building inspector will make sure that that's there. They obviously have to have sprinkler systems to protect the occupants, and that will be provided. So it's just, I don't know why the village decided to limit the dormitories to 2 stories, but we have a basement and 2 stories. The basement is considered a 3 story, so technically it's a 3-story building.
Now, in your application for your sector approval, you say that it is for proposed school with accessory housing. I mentioned this before. You failed to mention a cuddle in your narrative. You seem to deny that there is a cuddle over there.
Yes,
Well, it happens to be on his website. It very much says that you do have a cuddle. It's number 1.
Why don't we, for clarification, define what a kollel is, because.
I'm not done.
Uh-huh.
No, not yet. And also, in
Well, I
this
mean, the people might
application-
not understand the
Good, so-
terminology, that's what
So
I'm
we
telling
shall.
you.
And in your application, the EA, whatever you call it, right? You did not mention that you have a synagogue over there. Now, you have over here a tiny little cul-de-sac, right? Which already, as you mentioned, has already a synagogue. You already added one more synagogue, which you did not write down in your assessment form. And you want to add to this a kollel, 30 students, full-time students. And I don't know if this information should have been taken into account when you applied for a sector, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
if I could respond, I think you're mischaracterizing our application. Our application is for an educational institution with
Well, wait a
accessory housing. We are not seeking permission to have a kollel. We're not seeking permission to have a synagogue.
The fact of the
There
matter is,
there
you may
will
not be
be,
seeking
there
it.
will be a sanctuary within the school for the students to pray, and if outsiders come in from time to time and meet with the students and pray.
It was originally a synagogue before it was a school. That's number 1. Okay?
Well, I don't know that, and I think
Okay.
you're making characterizations, Mr. Chairman, that have not been borne out, and so I think you're, again, I think you're mischaracterizing our application. Our application is just as is set forth in our application materials. So if you're,
Okay.
and.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, well, if there's an issue, I would like to put it to bed, and the rabbi is here and is willing to address those issues, so, I'd like you to hear from him.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting everyone, and thank you for listening. As Mr. Hall said, our application is very clear. This is what we are applying for. We are applying for a yeshiva with a dormitory. That is our interest, and that is what we want to have. We are not applying for a synagogue. We are not applying for a kollel or anything to the sort. Yes, I did have a synagogue that existed at one point, and it was, as a matter of fact, I came in front of the zoning, and this is 20 years ago, back in Ermont, 25 years ago. It was in my, I was the first applicant at the time that the zoning and the planning approved of having it in my basement. And I must tell you, it was a pleasure to go through, and we stayed on the topic, and they applied it, and they approved it, and that did exist. As things have dwindled, and we don't have that anymore to that capacity of a synagogue, and that is why the school is there, and that's why we need the boys to be there, for the individuals that maybe the couple that are there to come once in a while and to be able to benefit from it. And when we did have the synagogue at that point, yes, there was a group of people that lived in the community. Today they do not. So therefore they have moved out, a lot of them, and there are minute amounts that are there. So I would like to stay very focused. I am applying for a yeshiva and a dormitory. That is what we're applying for. If Mr. Chairman, one second, if I want to, let's stay focused on whatever we are applying for. If afterwards you approve of a yeshiva and a dormitory, in hindsight, you're going to tell me that you're going to have that in a year, you're going to have a kollel because I heard that you have one now. In a year, if someone here is going to fund a kollel for me to have, maybe we'll come back and we will apply for a kollel, or we will apply, and if the synagogue decides people to move in, we will come back and we will apply for it. As a matter of fact, that's what we're here. We're here to do things in a legal manner, and I am not here to speak what goes on in Ermont, but we are here to legalize whatever we are here to legalize for. And I would like not to be penalized for things that have been said about us or things that have been brought up. I want to stay focused exactly on whatever we are applying for the merit of the application. The application is for a yeshiva and a dormitory. You are going to tell me that, okay, yeshiva dormitory, sir, we are going to apply you for that. You cannot have in there a kollel, you cannot have in there a girls' school, you cannot have in there a fun activity, I don't know, no problem. We're not, you could limit us to whatever you would like to limit us to the rest of the world. I am asking for a yeshiva and a dormitory. That is what the application is for, and I would like to stay focused on that. To accuse me of what I'm going to have in there at the time that we get approved, God willing, I don't think that's justice, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay, well, you do have, again, agree to disagree, you do have it on your website. But I want to address a different problem. You originally had a school. You moved from another facility to Ermont.
Correct.
You so stated in your original narrative.
Correct.
Okay? So, whatever reasons you moved for, I'm not that concerned about. But the fact of the matter is,
Mr. Chairman, you asked me those questions at the time.
No, I'm just
and I went to the details of informing your honors and giving my personal life and my wife's personal medical situation and whatever I had gone through in order to answer those questions. I wasn't offering them. I was asked those questions in order to offer them.
Okay, one at a time.
Okay, well, the fact of the matter is, I just want to establish a fact that you had and you do still have another facility, so therefore, this board, you're claiming that it's a hardship, and that's why you have to, simple terminology. You're claiming a hardship that you have to move over here for whatever you claim is a hardship, and mainly for your commuting is a hardship for you.
That was not the reason, no.
Okay,
that was not a reason. It's a very simple reason. I cannot, the place will not be able to exist if we are not in Ermont. If we are not given this thing, the entire school will cease. That is what is going to happen. And the people that have moved here, as a matter of fact, this entire room is full of them, they are moved and they are with us, they will not be able to benefit from whatever is going on there. I do not understand what it makes a difference that what I had in a different place that I cannot, there's no way.
But that's for us to decide and perhaps for us to disagree.
Fine.
Rabbi, could you define kollel in terms that we can understand? Because I think what I'm hearing is a kollel is probably what happens in every synagogue when somebody comes before prayer and they learn for a few minutes
People
before
come and learn
services.
as they wish. It does not, with all
I
due
mean,
respect,
I'm
I don't
not
think it
thinking
makes
this is
any
Lakewood
difference.
Yeshiva with
I am-
180 kollel people.
I am applying for a yeshiva and a dormitory.
Good
This
knowledge.
is what we are applying for. We would
Fine.
like to keep it specifically on the merit of what I'm applying for. I want to be looked at. I do not want to be judged here what I will have in 20 years from now and how things are going to be done. If there's any issues with that, I don't mind. I will go ahead and I will. You could close me up to that, and I will not have that. That is not the topic. The topic, the application is being submitted for a school and a dormitory.
Good. Very well.
Chairman, I make a motion, we open this up to the public.
I second.
All in favor?
Clerk?
Mrs. Hannah Goodfeld?
Good evening. My name is
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Before we start with the public, I think the public is entitled to know any correspondence that we may have received since the last meeting.
What was it? It wasn't distributed.
Excuse me?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you have it. You have the narrative.
That I have, but
They're responding to the GML.
yes, I had that.
Okay, you have the letter from Rachel Baris,
Okay.
and Lou's response, it had to do with the question on the, what was it? The basement,
Yeah.
of
Which
the
we
third
dealt
grade.
with.
That was August 8th, we received dated June 13th. We have the town of Ramapo, there was 2 letters that came in after the last meeting, dated July 22nd, and June 4th, but we received it after the meeting. There was a letter that came in June 12th, I believe it came in after the last meeting from Rockland County Health, and it's right in front of you, I put copies of
Yeah,
it.
I've read through most of it. It's okay.
And then there was Mr. Baum's memo from November 7th with the question that you had about the secret.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to, I was asked to go to the planning board. And then we have Paul's response, Paul Baum's response to the GML dated October 30th, and an updated narrative dated October 30th.
Very well.
Okay?
Good.
Go ahead, Mike.
Proceed.
Good evening. My name is Connie Greenfeld, and I live on 6 Darby Road, share a backyard with a yeshiva. I'm here to say that for the duration of the time that I am back-to-back with the yeshiva, it has been a positive experience. We have an open line of communication and feel comfortable reaching out to them with any concern. This was proven when we requested a gate, and they extended it for our comfort. The boys are always well-mannered and respectful. They are not noisy or disruptive, and we feel confident that should any concerns arise in the future, they will be here to address it, and we feel safe and comfortable having them as neighbors.
Thank you.
I just lost the list, sorry. Here it is. Sarah Hakakian.
So, as you know, my husband is Rabbi Hakakian. I have been with him through this whole journey of trying to, get this up and running. I just want to address the board because I have been, I haven't been well, and my husband said this to you. last time, and having the yeshiva was a big decision to move. With that being said, we are in a cul-de-sac. I know that three of the members live in the area. You can drive by and you can see what the buildings look like, those adjacent buildings in that cul-de-sac. You also know that these two buildings are probably one of the 4 largest buildings in Park Avenue. We live in 7 Balanchine, and I think that the Sheitelmacher, I forgot her name, Cindy, she probably has the 4th largest home. So we did not cram boys into 2 small, tiny homes. It's 30 boys in literally 7,000 square feet. I know you questioned about the basement. I only know about this because I've designed every tile inside those buildings. The basement does have access, 2 exits out. Those boys, their safety is my utmost concern, as if though they were my own sons. Anyone that would drive by the cul-de-sac will see that it is kept immaculate, it's kept clean. In fact, there is a sprinkler system in front of our building that looks like it belongs in the Taj Mahal. That's how big the sprinkler system is in order to ensure the safety. I have myself gone to all the neighbors, and have graciously communicated with them that if there's any issues, if there's any problems, I want them to knock on my door. I've been a neighbor in that neighborhood for over 25 years. They all know me. Those letters that came in, if I can correct you, Paul, there were 80 letters that came in. It was couple, it was husbands and wife. I know you questioned it, Mrs. Zafir, where they came from. They came from individual emails. You know those neighbors. You can verify those letters, stating what kind of people we are, what kind of boys they are. They've been hosting those boys for the past, I would say, 7 or 8 years prior to us coming to the neighborhood when I was feeling good and hosting these boys in my home. So they know the character of these boys. We've done a traffic study that I don't think any one of you requested. We did it out of our own understanding that was going to help the application. It was clean. It was whistle clean. I know that there was an individual who took pictures in Darby and cars in adjacent neighborhoods showing that these cars belong to us. That's a lie. That's not true. I just want us to have a fair application. It's important to us. It's important to me as an individual, so my husband can do what he's doing. I couldn't do what I was doing anymore when it was in 996. And I think that the whole neighborhood benefits from it. Not only the Sephardim, I think that the Ashkenaz, they're coming, they're enjoying. It is beautiful. It is nice. There's a cold Torah. The boys are good, solid boys. And all of you, again and again and again, are welcome to come in. I know Mr. Berger has come in and seen it for himself. I know people in the community have come in that are sitting here that are not in the Sephardi community, and they can vouch for what kind of atmosphere we're running and what exactly are we doing. So I would appreciate your really understanding how much this is needed. Thank you.
Tevi Hakakian? Okay. Chaim Schultz? Shops, excuse me, thank you.
I've been with the yeshiva since it started. We started to get a Rosh Sameach, then we had different locations. We are where we are. Yeshiva has been producing beautiful talmidim. They're producing really a big mansion, as it's known all around. We have what we expect from the boys is a very, very high level of not only learning, Yeshamayim, there should be beautiful ways of acting amongst each other, and it's really a pride for anyone to be able to have such a yeshiva. I think that should be taken very much into account. It's something very, very beautiful going on in the yeshiva, and we hope that we'll be received. The application we received with open hearts and open minds. Thank you very much.
Can we just have your address for the record?
7 Barry, B-A-R-R-I-E, Barry Drive, Spring Valley.
Okay. Melky Rita?
Here, 23 Park Avenue, former employee of the Village of Airmont. There's a lot going back and forth. Mr. Zafir, you have valid questions. I'm going to tell you right now that 30 boys in this building is not more than many of the families, not very much, significantly more than many of the families that have now moved into the neighborhood. Thank God I have 11 children and there are 2 adults. I have 13 people in my house, which is smaller than these houses. I also have an above-grade basement, so I guess I'm considered a 3-story home. There is absolutely no problem with the fire escapes and entrances and exits and how we can get in and out of the building. We might even be safer than some of the other buildings because we actually have the extra way to get out, so that if there's a fire on the kitchen or, you know, in the middle of the house, I have 3 floors to get out of my property. The houses that are there are the exact same thing. None of these things have been changed except to go, because I was in the village when this started out, except according to what the building inspector recommended that the Hakakians should do at the time that they started this process. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I pray at the synagogue across the street. My husband is there every day from 6 o'clock in the morning, then he leaves at 9, and then he goes back every night, which is why he's not here, and I'm representing both of us. He's there from 8 o'clock until 11:30 at night. He sees what's going on. There is no traffic impact. The block is very quiet. I actually am very happy that I can have yeshiva boys that I can run into instead of all the deer that have overrun the neighborhood and everything else that is coming down the streets, and they actually walk away because there are more people in a very quiet neighborhood. They're not making any kind of impact. I'll address your questions one by one if you want to reiterate them. I'm sorry I didn't have anything to write it down. Safety, this is one of the, Lou, you told it to me many times, this is one of the safest properties in the entire Airmont, with maybe the exception of the dormitory, our synagogue, which was 100% legal, and that house on Regina Road where they put up the 3 stories and the footprint stayed the same, and that guy, you know, said that, you know, he could be the fire department. So, you know, I've been involved, I know the rules, they're following the rules, and it's very upsetting for me to see the village of Airmont, where we've gone through so much and have finally become an inclusive community, somehow, for some unknown reason, just take this institution and I don't know what, and trying to destroy an application that they did. And if you don't like the kollel, then they can come across the street, and they're invited to come across the street to our synagogue, which has lost members due to attrition and people moving out and people getting old, and they will have an absolutely 100% legal place to congregate. So, you know, I hope that the board members will understand and approve what's needed. Really nothing has changed except that they're having a few more kids. The families that are moving in are way bigger than even the families that lived there before. So we're not talking about a lot of people. And if the board wants to go after, you can call me afterwards. And I'm not allowed to say all the issues that are going on, but I could start listing them all through the village. Thank you.
Karen Paul? No? Okay. Joy Rosenwasser?
I'm Joy Rosenwasser, 20 Darby Road, Airmont, the corner of Park Avenue. I didn't bring any notes. I want to say how beautiful the Tiferes Torah organization is. Walking by it, being near it, invited to their things that are happening, babies born, 8-day circumcisions. I think if the applications made them do the things that are needed, it would not look nice for our neighborhood. I think the fact that it's staying looking like houses makes it an unknown. I don't know what's going on in there. I just know that they're there to learn. It's school. I don't want to see kids running around, and they're not running around. So when I take a walk, obviously it's school time, and that's what they're doing. They're learning. You mentioned the word kollel. I don't know if it's correct, but the word kolo means like, adding in addition to things. If somebody comes in and says, I want to sit and listen to a lecture that's going on anyway, what should that make a difference to anybody else? As long as it's not more than the posted amount that's allowed in a room. So I'm sure that they're keeping up with those things. They keep the property meticulous, and that of course makes me happy because it makes our neighborhood more valuable. So I think that this application should pass because they're just doing a phenomenal job. The boys never have a problem with them. Again, I'm on a corner. Maybe somebody could take a walk during their breaks. Never had any issues with any of them in all the years. Thank you.
Okay, that's everyone. Is there anyone that wanted to speak that did not sign up?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
Who seconded that?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Before anything, be advised that since this board has never approved. I'm gonna contrast this to Yeshiva of South Monsey, which also was disapproved. Even though I approved it, but the board turned it down. If you're going to put an institution in a one-family house in 3/4 of a lot, of an acre, we call it an acre and a half, and basically what you're gonna have is every house in Airmount is gonna become yeshiva. And I don't think anybody wants that. I would like to point out the number of differences between the Yeshiva of South Monsey, which was also disapproved, and this application as well. Yeshiva of South Monsey had 2¼ acres or 2½ acres. It was on the main street on Saddle River, not really that close to any of the neighbors. Definitely wasn't 10 feet within a basketball court, 10 feet behind somebody else's neighbor, that he'd have baskets banging away all night. Don't forget, this institution is a dormitory that people are there 24/7. It's not a yeshiva, so you can't quite compare the two. That's probably why Yeshiva of South Monsey, 2 members disapproved it. Now, remembering also, I know you have a different view of it, but you did have another facility, and my understanding of Halupa, and I might be wrong, I'm not a lawyer, the lecture that I heard recently, if you had an alternative, Halupa does not apply over here. That was a lecture that I heard last week. So, anyway, I don't see myself approving this for reasons stated. Primarily, what really gets me the most is to have a basketball court within 20 feet of a neighbor. Now, you're saying that 30 adults are...
The neighbors wanted the basketball court. The neighbors wanted it. They asked me
With
for
all
that.
respect, I don't want to intervene. The Yeshiva Gedolah of South Monsey is my backyard. The yeshiva went up because I gave them a piece of my land and I gave them my easement. The day that they closed on that yeshiva, the day that I closed on my house, the Rabbi Leaf was waiting, I was coming, he was waiting for me to sign the papers. The only reason that yeshiva stands, it's in my backyard. With all the respect, and I want Yeshiva Gedolah of South Monsey to go up, but with all the respect, Mr. Chairman, you voted yes on that. But with all the respect,
and I just told you the reasons why.
but I want to clarify, I have 30 students where that is 240 or 200 something students. That's a big difference, that's number one. Number two, the dormitory is in a cul-de-sac. That dormitory is in my backyard, which is in a cul-de-sac that is in 7 Balanchine Court. Where this is, we're not changing any building. We're not. That's where they're going to put up a building, and I want that to go up. Don't get me wrong. I fought for that yeshiva to go up. It's in my backyard, and I'm happy about it. And the dormitory that we're going to build is a dormitory for 200 and something boys, where by us it's 30 boys. I am not changing any building things. I'm not building anything. And with all the respect, I don't want to get into our lupa, but our lupa does apply here, very much so.
That's not for us to decide.
But so
That's
the
a legal
only reason
question.
I'm bringing it up is because, Mr. Chairman, you brought it up, but that is not that's not the topic. But I do want to say, you made a comparison to Yeshiva Gedola of South Monsey, where you voted yes on. And I would like to clarify, I know that, I'm a next door neighbor, and the only reason that Yeshiva stands today is because of us. That's the reason that Yeshiva exists and was built. It is in a cul-de-sac, the dormitory will be in a cul-de-sac, and I want it to go up, and I bless it to go up, because I want yeshivas in the area. Not only mine, anywhere that they learn Torah, it is very much invited. And we believe that will only bring us protection and good. And as long as you're dealing with whatever is necessary to be done for the safety of the boys, with the concept of just 30 boys, with the concept you're going to open up a dormitories in the place, if someone's in their rights to be able to have a dormitory of 30 boys, and it is completely in a house that is 6,000 square feet each property.
Why are we having this debate, Mr. Chairman?
I've actually never seen anything proceed in this fashion in 5 years.
This is not a rightful debate.
The basketball court, the neighbors asked us for a basketball court. If you don't want a basketball court, we won't put a basketball court.
Mr. Chairman,
Dan will say something, then we're gonna close the brief.
Everyone what the role of the zoning board is and the role of anyone who wants to speak. It's supposed to relate to the 5-factor test for area variances, and just for everyone's edification, those are whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting the area variance. 2, whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial. 4, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Zoning Board of Appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. And the zoning board is also to approve.
We did that in his memo dated October 30th. He responded to each and every one of those.
Okay. But I'm mentioning this, we have a new board member, it's your first meeting. I want to bring everyone's focus to those issues, which is the function of this board, to grant relief or deny relief based on whether or not the applicant has sufficiently shown that they meet those standards. They don't have to meet every one, and certainly number 5, if that's the only one that they weren't able to meet, that would not preclude the granting of the variance.
Okay, Marty.
So with that,
Excuse me?
I'll make a motion.
Sure, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Very well,
Second to that motion?
I do.
All in favor?
Aye. We need to consider the GML on this application?
Yes.
I put a hard copy on your desk, on your seats, of the GML because it was in the previous packet. And then there's a response memo from Mr. Baum, who responded to each of those items in the GML that we should go through.
yeah, and before we do anything, are we set on how many variances and which variances need to be applied for? And if so, let's make it clear on the record.
Yes, it's everything.
You want Richard to read it again? I don't think it's necessary.
Well, Paul, the one that you mentioned,
The only additional one that was not read as part of the public hearing is exceeding 2 stories.
But it was advertised.
It was advertised
Yes,
that
it
way.
was.
Correct.
210, 119, 110.
So,
Marty, floor is yours.
With respect to,
Want to ask any questions? Say anything?
no, I don't have any questions. I think we ought to, look at the GML prior to somebody making a motion to approve or disapprove this application.
It wasn't in your packet, but if you
Can I
want to look at
just-
it, please do.
can I just be heard with regard to that? The law does not, I mean, I know we always do it this way. The law does not envision that you take a vote on the GML conditions. The law envisions that you vote on the application, okay? And should that application receive a supermajority vote, then you override those GML recommendations, and you need to set forth the reasons why you voted
Not
by
quite.
4-to-1 vote.
No, you have to say
The
why
law
you
does
are
not
overriding.
envision a separate vote on GML alone. It envisions a
No,
vote
but
on
it
the
does
application.
envision- It
Mr.
does
Tick.
envision you explaining yourself why you're overriding.
Mr. Attorney, I don't think you want to put yourself in this position, because if we vote yes on the GML, 4 people override the GML, and then 3 people override the application, you still win. If you don't go through the GML, and we vote, and that includes the GML, and you only get 3,
I don't know if that's correct.
Well, let me ask you something, Mr. Don.
Certainly.
You and I definitely don't see eye to eye.
Please
on
consider
this.
it before you say you shouldn't vote on the over.
But, if they get an approval, doesn't that run with the land?
Of course.
The variances run with the use.
Runs with the land. In other
Yeah,
words.
as long as the
approval
property
runs
is
with the
used for
land.
this
So,
use, those
by
variances run with it.
Voting just on the application first, you could have a situation, and believe me, open dialogue, you could have a situation where they approve the variance, they now are locked in, subject to any litigation, but they've gotten a relief that runs with the land. Now they take up the issue of the required overrides, and they don't get, not everyone is overridden. What happens?
Mr. Attorney, I was in court for 2 years because of that.
It's deemed a denial if you do not get a super majority vote.
Denial of what? You just said
What?
it's not really even
A
part of the
denial of the
process.
application.
What's the
But the
matter if we
application
vote
was just
first on the
approved.
GML?
The application can only be approved by a super majority vote.
Is that
If
right?
the application is approved by a 3-2 vote, it fails.
No, that's not what I'm
That's
saying. It's very different. than what
3-2
I'm
vote.
saying.
You know what?
What's
I'll let the board handle it the way it sees fit.
We're having.
what's the issue of voting on the GML?
Because what happened with the last application is you voted on the GML, you didn't get a 4-1 vote, and there was no vote taken on the ZBA application in and of itself. And my position on that is, there are different standards. When you vote on a ZBA application, as Mr. Crasher indicated, you have to look at the 5 factors. And you should be basing your decision on those 5 factors, and whether or not we've met our burden to grant the variances. Now, if
I hear
you
you.
find that we've met our
Understand.
burden and the board approves it, then you should need to address why you're voting
Override.
in opposition to the GML recommendation.
But that puts you in the different. That puts the whole application in 4 hands instead of 3.
Dan, could I ask attorney a question, please? I've been on this board on and off for a long time, and I've never seen procedure being disputed with respect to having the county GML and not having that voted on one way or the other, and then the application.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Long?
Well, not quite as long, but I've never seen it either. And I've asked Mr. Baum, give me a case. Give me one case.
There's no case law out there because nobody challenges these GML decisions because the county is immune from suit, because they're only advisory They don't make decisions.
Where is it required then? Is it under state village law, or is it not?
It's under the general
That-
municipal law.
That the board has to consider the county's planning board,
Input.
input with respect to approval, disapproval, with various points. And we've been voting on these things for 1992,
I don't see the reason.
one
change
way or
over
the
there.
other.
And
So
I,
help me out, Dan, or someone.
I don't see a benefit,
What?
and I don't see a reason to change tonight.
I don't think we disagreed at all.
That's it.
I don't think you needed help.
I don't think it's a benefit.
So we're to vote on the aspects of the points of disapproval on the county GML prior to
The
voting on the
override
application.
have to be done prior to voting on the ultimate application. And one of the main reasons is that you could theoretically vote in favor of the application and then have someone, two people, vote against the specifics of a few or one even of the GML comments, overutilization of the site. You could just look at the comments that they made. Some of them maybe significant. I'm not going to wade into that. But they didn't just say for local determination. They didn't just say we think it should be denied. They said disapprove, hereby disapprove. I will be the first to say that I've seen that more and more lately on other applications as well. But it still doesn't change the import of the county's position and their responsibilities under the GML.
So what is this board's responsibility?
Excuse me?
What is the board's responsibility, for the record? If something is not overridden with the supermajority, does that mean that the application can no longer be considered?
Unless they amend it. What prevents them from amending?
Okay, well, that's what I want to be made clear.
Why don't we do it, we always did it, we go for each variance and we vote on each variance, unless we want to combine them. In this case, though, the first one, I think we should do them individually.
I just wanted to say real quick, not to discount how you've done it in the past or anything, in other places that I've seen,
Please.
they do one motion of approval and a GMO override as one. So either you approve it or you deny it. It's not one or the other. So you're either approving it with the GML override or you're disapproving it.
Yes, I know,
So that
but
you're
the
not.
problem with that is, especially an application like this, I'm not gonna go into specifics. If you go each variance standing on its own, the petitioner has a choice, not necessarily in this case, but in general. The petitioner has a choice, okay, I know now that I asked for 5 variances and 4 of them were granted, but one wasn't. I can go back to the drawing board and I can maybe fix that one. But, well, you wanna do it in bulk.
Oh, no, you could still, like, in your approval, I approve variances A, B, and C
I don't see any
with the
real reason
GML
why.
override.
I
No, I just wanted to throw out there an option that I've seen on, so that you know, to see if that was something that you was of interest to you or not. If you want to do it the each one, that's totally fine too. That's your choice. I just wanted to tell you what I have seen and how they did it, so that we didn't have that issue of if you approve a variance but you don't do a GML override, then it's really not approving the variance because you can't. The variance is contingent.
Well, it seems to
on that.
work for us till now, and I think we'll
No, that's fine. I'm
continue doing it.
just wanted you to know what some of the other places that I see are doing, just so that,
That's why I stated in other places that they do it like that. I wasn't the judge. I was the applicant.
yeah.
So a neighbor called me in court for 2 years because it was done that way. They had a loophole to call me in court. That's not a benefit for that's a benefit for the applicant. That's why I brought it up. So I don't see a benefit for the applicant of changing it tonight.
Okay.
Marty.
And one more thing I want to say, I usually don't speak up like that. I was in the yeshiva 3 times, and none of our votes is even gonna be judged of this Bukharam are the best of the best, and we all know that. This is a 1.7 acre property, and that's everybody's concern, I think, tonight. It's if this goes through, 90% of Airmont is cheaper than Monsey. Monsey is being bought for such amount, and this is being bought for such amount. Every yeshiva that's gonna want to open a yeshiva is gonna choose Monsey, that Airmont. That means everybody in this 4,000 paranoid body can now have a dormitory in their next door. And as this attorney had done 10 times, he says, you gave it for that guy. And that is gonna be the judgment tonight. Nobody is judging none of the Bukharam, and it's a gorgeous yeshiva.
I appreciate
No,
that
you
very
don't.
much. I'm sorry, I want to say thank you for coming and.
Even more illegal?
We can't have
We
this.
can't have this.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Just saying thank you.
What's the idea of it?
Can I comment on
No.
what you said?
I think all of these discussions should be a discussion if there's a motion made, not just
That's right.
stating a case from board members to the public.
Good.
You know,
Okay, Marty, the public session is closed.
yeah.
You have the floor, whatever you want to say, or you don't want to say. You want to make a motion, you don't want to make a motion? Okay, I say that we vote on each individual variance.
Variance or,
GML.
Or GM, you want to do GM, I'll do the GM, fine. Read
I
out
just
the
want
GM.
to do what we've been doing in this village for 32
Yeah,
years.
please continue.
And if we've been voting on the GML,
You wanna go over
that needs
comment by comment?
voting upon, that we need to do that. And what happens after that, I can't tell you. So, if you have the information in front of you,
the GML? You have the GML?
I'm looking for it.
You want to read the GML for the comments?
Read the
And then
disapproved
we'll vote.
comment.
I would be happy to.
Thank you.
So they cited the following reasons for disapproval. One, special permit uses are by definition subject to a higher standard of review than as of right uses. In addition to complying with the bulk requirements of the zone in which they are proposed, they must conform to the general standards provided in section 21097 of the village's zoning code and the individual special permit standards outlined in section 210-119. We do not believe the proposed educational institution with accessory housing meets these more stringent standards, as is evidenced by the number and intensity of the variances from the special permit requirements that are needed to allow for this conversion. Variances from half of the required bulk standards are being requested, including for 1.76 lot area, 52.8 foot front setback when 10 acres and 250 feet are required respectively. The development coverage will also exceed the permitted maximum by 40%. In addition, the proposed basketball court will only be 20 feet from the property line when 250 feet are required. Given the degree of nonconformity, the special permit required for this proposal shall not be granted, as the educational institution with accessory housing will not be in harmony with the surrounding community character, which is predominantly comprised of single-family dwellings on smaller lot sizes. I would point out, though, that I would just point out the special permit is not before you. That's before
I
the planning
understand,
board.
so what's before us is if we agree with the county or we override the county.
Okay, and they're
That's what-
saying
that's all.
that special permit shall not be granted, but you're not granting a special permit.
We're voting now for overriding number one,
Okay.
which means that we're okay with the 1.7 acres instead of 10 acres. We're okay with 20 feet instead of the 250 feet, and we're okay with 10 feet for the front setback, et cetera, if we are okay with these variances. period. That's what we're voting on.
Well, I would say that's the second comment. The first comment directs itself to the special permit, and it says that the special permit shall not be granted.
Good, okay, so
If you don't grant the special permit.
I would like to address the second.
Okay.
Well,
Would you like me to read the second one?
Mr. Brown makes a very, very valid point. At the same time, it does have to be addressed because it is in the GML. But I think it could, the board could point out that we are not the board, they're going to the planning board for the special permit use, and that this provision is not within the purview of the zoning board, and we leave it to the planning board to determine whether or not this shall be imposed or should be overridden.
Good, okay, but, Mr. Baum, Member Sewell says we should vote on number 1 and number 2 together, so please read number 2 as well.
Number 2, permitting development that does not comply with the applicable bulk standards is setting an undesirable land use precedent and result in the overutilization of individual sites. Only 17.6% of the minimum lot area is provided. The front setback is only 21% of the required front setback. The side setback and total side setback are deficient by 56% and 48% respectively. The side setback is deficient by 13%. As noted above, the proposed development coverage exceeds the maximum permitted standard by 40%. In addition, the basketball court will be only 8% compliant with the 250-foot setback requirement. The ability of the existing infrastructure to accommodate the uses that do not conform to the applicable regulations is a countywide concern and must be evaluated. This evaluation must consider whether the sewer system and stormwater management systems can accommodate the increased building size and runoff from the site, and whether they will be overburdened. In addition, this parcel is located in a neighborhood of similarly sized lots. Allowing this use on a site that does not comply with the applicable bulk requirements will set a precedent for other property owners to also request variances, which will permit them to exceed the bulk requirements put in place to achieve the vision and community character planned for the neighborhood. The variances must be denied, as though the establishment of these bulk requirements, the village, or through the establishment of these bulk requirements, the village has determined that the use requires more space to be safely accommodated than is available at this site.
Okay, so we have 1 and 2.
Well, 1 and 2, in my opinion, are completely separate
Could be.
concepts.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. We're still voting on both of them.
The special permit, which once again is not within the purview of this board. Number 2 does relate to the purview of this board.
Question is, do we override these 2 GMLs or we don't? Very simple.
Well, I don't understand. Number 1 is not within the purview of the zoning board of appeals?
Don't I need to do
Is that what you're saying? If that's true, then we shouldn't be voting on it.
Well, I think that the vote can be, we acknowledge comment number 1 of the Rockland County GML dated June 9th, 2025, but note that this board does not have any jurisdiction over the special permit, that it's within the, it's something that they're applying for, and is only issued by the planning board, and
So we don't need to vote on it, on going from 10 acres to 1.7?
It's a variance.
No, it's a requested variance.
Yeah.
That's
Of course
all.
we vote on that.
Yeah, there were 8 variances requested, or 9. So,
Okay, we have to keep moving.
So let's move.
Okay, so we're gonna vote on, can we do a vote if we're overriding 1 and 2 GML or not?
All right. Somebody needs to make a motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we override, the Rockland County Planning Board's, points 1 and 2.
And you have to state the reason.
The reason is because, as Mr. Pound has illuminated in his responses, which I've read, particularly in number 2 with respect to any drastic change, in the area. What else? Overburdening the infrastructure. I've read some of those reports, the Department of Health, the Department of Public Works, traffic studies, and I would tend to agree that there wouldn't be any impact on the infrastructure and including traffic. I have visited the property a few times, surreptitiously, zooming through. And that's my opinion. And as far as getting into the other stuff, with respect to change of character of the neighborhood, I don't think that we're going to get into that at this moment. I'm just making a motion to override 1 and 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. So she needs to call the roll.
Make a roll. All in favor?
Roll call on
No, you gotta call the
items number 1
roll
and
on
2.
this.
Okay, Marty Cavell,
Yes to override 1 and 2.
Joe Stolowitz,
Yes, to override.
Chairman Safar. I'll do you last,
The
actually.
reason I am gonna abstain is because I do not like the idea of approving this, it's giving this sort of the flavor that we're okaying the variances, which we're not. Okay,
You're
as
not
far as the
voting-
permitting, if it's not within our purview, I have no problems going along with it. I'll vote last. Further?
Susan, you wanted to call?
I'm sorry, Richard Berger,
Yes, I vote to overrides the GML number 1 and 2. If it's not in our purview, number 1, then that's what it is. We also noticed that these are sort of responses we get on the GMLs that come up that don't really give the opportunity for religious institutions to be able to fall within these boundaries. Typically, as Paul had mentioned, lots are not large enough to be able to accommodate without special consideration. And I believe RLUIPA is somewhat pertinent to that. So I make a motion to override the GMLs number 1 and 2.
I'll vote to override to the extent that if it's not in our purview, but as far as permit is concerned, and by voting over here, I'm not voting to okay the variances. All I'm voting for is to override their comments that when it's not in our purview to permit or not to permit, I'll go along with the override. But they're being very specific that I'm not okaying the variance.
Well, we didn't get to that yet.
We're not there.
we're only doing the GML right now.
I don't want to misunderstand.
You missed Mr. Brander.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
going to do them, but Dan was going to
I
say something.
want to clarify something. There are certain aspects of a special permit that may need a variance from the zoning board before they can seek the special permit. In other words, if the special permit has certain acreage requirements. The whole concept of a special permit is it's not allowing the use automatically. What it's doing is it entitles the applicant, if they meet all of the factors of the special permit, that they are entitled to it. It used to be you could not even get a variance from any of those factors. That changed at least 20 years ago, probably longer. But when Paul and I were practicing, when we first started, there's no doubt you could not get a variance from the terms of a special permit. So I am clarifying what I said before.
Very well, let's keep.
So if there are specific requirements in the special permit section that would deal with things like area, bulk, building size, use, then it's not only required that the zoning board speak to that, but that the applicant apply for those specific variances.
So then why do we vote on the variances first and then on the GMO override? Would have made a lot more sense. But anyway, we're here where we are.
All right. Building inspector is reviewing that section right now.
I'm sorry, Member Brander, I didn't get to get your vote.
You have to vote.
Abstain.
Okay, now.
He abstained. So we have four, four.
Four
Yeah,
overrides.
for the overrides of 1 and 2.
Now let's vote on the variances.
And don't forget the 5 factors, please.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make the honors?
Hmm?
Want to do the honors?
Marty.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to,
First one.
well, you need me to go one by one?
One by one. This one we're doing by the book.
Okay. I make a motion to approve number 1, the variance from 210-119A1 regarding the lot size. And 10 acres is really not in the cards here. And the buildings are already existing, and with respect to the limitation of 30 students, which I would make a condition over the long haul of time, that the neighborhood not be inundated with hundreds of students, because it wouldn't be fair to other applicants from the past. So I make a motion to approve the first variance, given that that 10 acres is just not obtainable or reasonable, given the size of the institution that desires to conduct itself, with the limitation of so few students.
If I could just interrupt.
I'm done. You're not interrupted.
Mr. Chairman, this application was properly advertised, properly, they cite the specific sections of the special permit to which they would need the variance.
Mm-hmm.
So they've actually, I went through explaining, teaching about special permits, but this this was done correctly.
Okay, we know that.
Okay, just want to make it clear.
Number three,
Somebody second?
I need a second on the motion.
Just second. All in favor?
We do a roll call.
Roll
Joe Stulovitz.
Start with that.
Okay, do you want me to start with you, Mr. Berger?
Recalling the roll?
I was calling the roll. Mr. Berger did the second the motion. Do you want to do your vote?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Okay, I vote to approve. Many reasons. In looking at the composition of the neighborhood and the public support, it seemed quite evident, and the caliber of the people affiliated with the yeshiva. There are 3 neighbors on the board that live in the vicinity of the yeshiva, and I think everybody could widely recognize many of the people that are sitting here from the community. They're exceptional. I've seen events like the blessing of yeshiva from the Chief Rabbi of Israel, from the Sephardic side. I have a tendency in my older age to not sleep as much as many, and I'm sometimes taking a stroll at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning or in the evening. At any time of the day, I've never seen any disruptive behavior. I've seen the boys with decorum. I've actually dropped in and have heard just wonderful things, more, I would say, more old school, sort of resounding just discipline and just, giving the boys the advantage that they kind of deserve, especially coming from a group that's underserviced, the Sparta community. They've been discriminated upon. I think Rockland County and much of America doesn't have that much, and I think they deserve an education. I think the educators here come from, the finest of yeshivas, including Rabbi Shabbos, who's, renowned within the community as being one of the leaders. I just, to me, this looks to be like it should be the simplest application, and for some reason it's become something that, I find it's like uncanny. I've seen applications that, really needed to be stretched in order to accommodate, sometimes because of our lupa, and this to me is, I think it's a simple case. I think they merit it, and once again, we've got it from many sides. We've heard from the fire chief that it's probably one of the safest buildings in town, and you're talking about 30 students. So to me, if you do want to go back and qualify it based on the balancing acts, we could do that. And I'm sorry to be a little long-winded, but when I'm looking at it and I'm seeing how a lot of what happened at the last meeting is sort of shifted. There were some people that were very outspoken and they sort of just disappeared. Some of them stated things that were completely untrue. You're looking at, one person stated that it's I'm gonna bounce this back. No, excuse me.
We gotta get
The change of the character of the neighborhood. One person had the audacity to say that his house is now worth $300,000. And the person that was the most against it from the neighborhood, which I understood was paid, sold his house a couple of weeks later for 1.7 million, about. So I mean, it just none of it really makes sense to me. So once again, I vote to approve, and I hope people understand the reason why.
You're next.
Abstain.
I will address the other neighbors' comments. They may or may not be here. Again, contrasting to Yeshiva of South Monsey. I've been in this neighborhood for 35 years. I have never, ever, ever heard a complaint from any of those students. Over here I hear about the police report, so you say it's not true. Except for one thing. Myself and I, was standing next to Rabbi Ribiat when your students were harassing him. I thought I was going to sink into the ground. Okay? So don't tell me that they're all angels. Now, I don't expect Bukrim to be angels. I don't expect it. But I don't expect that you have to have a yeshiva. I understand, but the yeshiva has to be somewhat insulated against the neighborhood because no Bukrim are angels. They're all. Now, Rabbi Lipsky Bukrim might be exceptional, they may not. But I don't fault the Bukrim. That's who they are. But 20 feet behind somebody's house, in something that we never approved, something that's going to set a precedent that every single family house is going to be gambling. Maybe they have good Bukrim next to them, maybe not. I simply cannot approve it. I voted no. You.
Joe Strulis?
I vote to approve with contingency on no extension to this building. As long as they keep the two buildings, as long they don't change any character to the neighborhood and to the buildings, I'll give my approval, just because it's no change and no more than 30 boys on property. Hmm?
3 yes, 1 no, 1 abstain.
Because you told me.
I understand.
This was from the chart. I didn't hear Marty.
Yes. And that is that.
Marty?
I'm gonna vote yes to approve on 210-119A1 to give the applicant relief from the requirement of 10 acres to 1.76 acres. Given the fact that it's already standing, I've observed the site and I don't see a problem with it. And the reason why all of these following will make motions on requirements are because of the outsized requirements for a institution with dormitory. So here we have an extremely scaled down application, extremely so. So I don't have a problem voting yes for number 1.
Okay. So the motion carries 3 yes, 1 no, 1 abstain.
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, on number 2, 210-119A, number 4. A variance required for front setback from public right-of-way less than 250 feet. 52.8 feet is provided to 2 Fosse Court and 58.1 is provided to 3 Fosse Court. I make a motion to approve that variance. Any discussion?
Can you go to all? We're gonna vote each one out?
That's up to...
No. Number 8, I won't vote it on separately.
I thought we were going 1 by 1.
All right, so I did number 2. I made my motion. I'm looking for a second on
I'll
the
second it.
Yeah, okay.
go along with that.
If there's any discussion on the motion,
No, it's not major.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the roll call on number 2.
yes.
Mr. Richard Berger,
I vote to approve.
And just for the,
a quick
for
reason, so I have
for
it
the
for the record.
record, since we're voting separately, if what you said on the first one applies on the second, third, fourth, fifth, you could say for the reasons stated in number 1. And if there's something else you want to add, or some other distinguishing reason, you can add that to the, you could say, for the reasons stated in number 1, and in addition, or notwithstanding how I voted on number 1, I choose to vote differently on number 2.
So I need a reason, Richard, please.
As Dan stated, for the same reasons as stated in 1.
Mr. Brandon?
Abstain.
Okay. Do you want me to, go ahead, Chairman.
Well, I don't believe it's substantial, so I'll vote yes.
Mr. Stolowitz,
I vote yes.
a reason, please.
Stated earlier.
Okay. Mr. Cavell,
I'm going to vote yes. I don't believe this, approving that variance will create any undesirable change, and I don't believe it's substantial to the requirement. So I vote yes.
okay, so motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstain.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, well,
make a motion?
Yeah,
May I?
please.
Number 3, 210-119A5, a variance required for a side setback less than 100 feet, 60.4 feet is provided to 2 Fosse Court, and 44.4 feet is provided to 3 Fosse Court, and a total side setback of less than 200 feet, 104.8 feet is proposed. I make a motion to approve number 3, that variance.
I'll second.
I'll go along with it.
So we need a roll call
I'm going to go
vote?
through the roll call. Mr. Berger,
Yes, I will.
For the same reasons
Same
that you
reasons.
stated in
The reasons stated.
number 1.
1 and 2, yeah.
Mr. Brander,
Abstain.
Chairman Zafar.
Yeah, but I don't find the variance all that substantial, so I'll go along with it.
Joe Stolowitz,
I'll vote yes. For the reason stated.
and Mr. Cavell.
Yes, for the reasons previously stated.
Number 4.
Number 4, make a motion, Mr. Chairman, on 210-119A6, make a motion to approve variance required for a minimum rear setback less than 100 feet. 87.3 feet is provided to 2 Fosse Court, and 99 feet is provided to 3 Fosse Court. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I'll approve.
You want to do a roll call?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
roll
going to do
call.
the roll call. Marty Cavell,
Me first, I will vote yes. There is really nothing substantial here, and I'd be happy to approve that and vote yes.
Mr. Stolowitz,
No substantial reason why not to.
Mr. Berger,
Yes, not substantial.
Mr. Brander,
Aye.
and Chairman Zafar.
Yes, not substantial. Next.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion 210-119A7. Variance required for less than 25 feet setback to an internal roadway. I make a motion to approve that. I've seen the layout, and I don't believe that that's any particular problem. I believe that relief from that requirement is called for here.
I'll second.
Roll call.
I'm gonna do the roll call. Richard Berger,
I approve. It's not substantial. I think it's fine.
Mr. Strulovitz,
I vote to approve. Don't think substantial. The building is not coming out. As long as the building is not in the new building, I vote to approve.
Mr. Branter, abstain?
Yeah.
Mr. Cavell,
I'm gonna vote yes, reasons stated.
and
Previously.
Chairman Zafar.
Same.
Mr. Chairman,
I'll second.
I'd like to make a motion, 210-119C4, variance for less than the minimum parking spaces of 32 or
We
40.
missed one.
No, yeah, we missed.
Skip 6.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah, number
apologize.
6.
Variance, thank you.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I make a motion to approve 210-119A9, variance required for greater than 25% development coverage in a residential district, 35% proposed, and the reason for my making a motion for approval, there are 2 existing single-family homes that have been converted to the story that we already are well aware of, and I don't feel that that's a problem with the extent of, they're already existing and the coverage is what it is, and I don't find it to be a particular detriment to the character of the neighborhood. So that's my motion. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay, second. Okay, I'm gonna do the roll call. Mr.
This is on number 6.
Number 6. Mr. Berger,
I approve the number 6 on the GML.
GML.
number 6 on the variance.
Yeah. Reason stated.
Mr. Brander, abstain. Mr. Strulovitz,
I vote to approve. Reasons stated.
Mr. Cavell,
Reason stated, I vote yes to approve number 6.
Number 7.
Chairman Zafar,
I'll go with this.
Reason.
Reason stated.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion.
Number 7.
I have a motion, if I may.
Please.
Okay. 210-119C4, make a motion to approve this variance for less than the minimum parking spaces of 32 or 40, 20 provided. Given that students will not be driving or needing parking spaces, parking is limited to staff, certain visitors, and I believe that it's more than enough allocated parking. I feel it's sort of righteous to give relief from this requirement of the zoning code for this specific use. Any second to my motion?
I second.
Okay, I'm gonna do the roll call. Richard Berger,
I vote yes to approve the variance number 7. Students don't drive, and I think that the 20 is adequate.
Mr. Brander, abstain. Mr. Strulovitz,
I vote to approve. Reasons stated.
Mr. Cavell,
Yes to approve, my reasons previously stated.
and Chairman Zafar.
I'll go along with it reluctantly, because I'm not sure about the synagogue, but I've made my objections to that already.
Okay.
So, but anyway, as far as I'm concerned, if there is no synagogue, I'll approve it.
Mr. Chairman, number 8, I'd like to make a motion, if I may.
Read it carefully.
210-119B3, a variance from setbacks from playing fields to the neighboring streets and property lines of a minimum of 250 feet, 10 feet is provided to the rear lot line. This one I think we need to talk about a little bit.
I have mentioned it previously.
Yeah, Well, before I think I complete my motion, I think I'd like a further illumination or elucidation. Mr. Brown, prior to us making a motion and voting on,
Can we see where the
number 8 is with request of variance from the setback for the playing field.
Rachel's gonna pull it up. I
Help
think that's
us
a
out a
mistake.
little-
It's
help
supposed to be
us-
20
I think
feet
it's
to the
supposed
rear.
to be 20, because it's 20 feet here, so this is where.
What is the lot behind it?
Oh, did I make a typo?
Just
I'm sorry, that's my,
Private residence.
it's a typo.
Yeah, there's the house here, is this? I think she's the one who spoke.
So how many,
20 feet.
So it's
It
20
should be 20
feet
That's a
here.
typo on my part, on the hearing notice. But it did get advertised properly.
could you just point to
Well,
the,
actually, we're okay even if it was advertised at 10, because that's worse.
It's less.
Yeah,
It's
so
less, but I
we're
did
asking
advertise.
for less than 10 then.
Was there no other place to put the basketball court?
I mean,
Is that how
if
it's
we
called?
wrote, there's pretty limited
Can it be
spaces where-
rotated?
If it's rotated, I mean, it's something we could look at, but it's, we need a variance either way. Because it would be within 250 feet. So even if we rotated it and it was over here,
Does it make a difference?
it's not going, it still requires a variance. So if there's something that you're willing to give, something we would hear, but
well, all right,
it doesn't fit at 250 feet.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to make a motion to approve the variance, but conditional to shifting it away from that rear property line a bit.
And
I don't know, so how does that stand with the specifics of,
Can we rotate it? How many feet is it gonna be?
yeah,
It's gonna be more than 20.
is that possible?
Play
I
half
can try,
a
yeah.
Rotate it this way.
I mean, it might get to 30.
A few feet more.
Yeah, it's not gonna be,
Substantial.
it's not gonna be a substantial difference, but I'm willing to try.
There's no lights on the basketball court. They're not gonna be playing in the middle of the night.
No.
8 o'clock, everything's the latest, everything's finished.
Conditional to its daytime use?
I mean, you could have basketball courts in the street and you could play all night too, so.
Say it again?
You could have a basketball court on the street, and a lot of people do, and they could play into the darkness if they have street lights, so what's the difference?
Okay,
That's true.
you're right about that.
I live behind,
Maybe why you
I
need
live
10
behind the
acres.
park, so.
Many of my neighbors have.
Fern has one on the corner of the Hadley.
All right, I'm gonna vote to approve the variance from setbacks from the playing
If it's
field.
possible to rotate.
210, 119, B3. Any second on my motion?
I need a second on the
Second.
motion. I'm gonna do roll call. Marty Cavell,
Yeah, I'm gonna vote yes. Reasons, again, I don't think anything substantial is gonna change here. And neighboring homes have not complained.
And if they do complain, it'd be a noise violation that would be responded to. at the
Right, which
time.
would be something that the village would be listening to.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Strolowitz,
I'll vote to approve with 8 o'clock limit except Saturday night.
except Saturday night?
Holidays.
All right.
No holidays, Saturday night.
Mr. Brander, abstain. Okay.
I live in the back of a school.
Richard Berger
I vote to approve. I don't think any neighbors objected. I think one actually was favorable, so.
and Chairman Zafar.
Well, if the neighbor had no problem with it, then I'm not gonna have a problem.
Well, that's that.
So motion carries 4 to
Wait,
1.
Mr. Baum,
There's one more.
Mr. Baum.
Where?
210, 119, 810 to exceed 2
Three
stories.
stories.
I voted on that.
Given that the first story is a basement,
No,
And
first
then
floor
I-
is not a basement, that's the problem.
Even the
What
store
is
is
it?
to.
It's
I'll
a
make
story.
210, 119, it got cut off, and I
it's a
apologize.
story, correct? All right, I'm gonna make a motion to override the requirement of 2 stories for this application, for this lot, or these lots, for this lot to 3 stories.
Half Half the houses on that cul-de-sac would have the same issue.
Okay, that's my motion. To approve the variance for the request for the requirement from 2 stories to 3 stories as it already exists.
Second.
Hold on.
I want to,
You're going too
comes my
fast.
turn, I'll go.
Richard Berger seconds the motion. Okay, I'm gonna do roll call. Marty Cavell,
I'm going to vote yes. My reasons stated, it's already existing and nothing is going to change.
Mr. Strulovitz,
I'll vote to approve a request that should make sure that fire safety is taken care of.
No, I would be more specific. Okay. I
Two
would like
means
to
of
know
egress.
where the entrance and egress is, if they are on opposite ends of the.
If I remember the house correctly, there's a walkout door on the garage side and there's a sliding glass door on the opposite corner. And there's also, I made them install egress windows in all the sleeping rooms.
On the 3rd floor is the egress windows?
All of them are egress windows.
That's good.
Good.
okay, Richard Berger,
Vote to approve the variance.
Mr. Brander, abstain, and Chairman Safar.
If it has egress windows, I'll approve it.
So, all the variances have been approved. Did I miss something? I don't think I missed anything. Okay.
No, I think they voted on all the variances.
All variances were voted on and all were approved.
The one that you added also?
Yeah, let's look at the story.
Excuse me? Thank you very much. We appreciate the board's time.
Thank you.
I know you have another application to hear, so.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for listening to us. I want to apologize if there was anything over around. And whoever has come by and seen the place and taken time from them and seen the boys, it's much appreciated. Thank you.
Be well, Ron. Be well.
You said it reason. You said it no. You voted. Stated the reason. One of them didn't have the motion of that
1.6. I would take care of it. If you saw someone, bring it to my attention. I will take care of it personally. It's not from, I want to invite you to the yeshiva. I want you to see the boys, and I want you to see the character of the boys. And I want you to see. I want, if there is someone. I saw. Okay, I don't know if it's my boy. If it is my boy, I guarantee you, I will take care of it. It's you'll come to the place. I want to say something. You'll come to the place and you'll see the bachrim and you'll see that it's not in the character of this yeshiva. And if there is someone, I will take care of it personally. Bring it to my attention. And I want to say, we were next to a Beis Yaakov for 12 years. There was never, he even wrote a letter. He came, he would come tonight. Kramer. The neighbors, how could it be that every single neighbor is here and saying that it's good? No, two, and one of them left, and it was jealousy. I want you to come.
I was down at the Marshall I can tell you what I saw.
Whatever it is, I will you don't know me.
The other started up with and then they rolled over another two, and then they started taking a bunch of pictures.
I don't think it's my
You know, there was one guy who made an accusation. And let me tell you something. He was walking down the street. Listen. Somebody was walking down the street and said that he got attacked by the rabbi's son. Now what happened? I heard the story. He says he spit on the floor. I said, oh, that's interesting. He was a baseball player. He was chewing tobacco. What doesn't make sense? I hear the other side of the story. He spit at the rabbi.
worth it.
And you know from
My
the
shoe
day
was
that it
standing.
came out, it was false.
It's
Nonsense.
My husband, we could have called him, he tried to call me. 90% of the things that said, and that's why I got up. That's why I got up.
But I want to invite you in. It's finished.
How does Hamas not even have a complaint in the rest of the neighbors?
The neighbors, all the neighbors.
How does we don't respectful?
Akra wrote a letter.
You got all respectable people from the neighborhood that all support this. You know what? You're talking
might have
about
seen one
one
guy.
individual, which I don't even know.
3-5, which I'm having a hard
More
time.
context to it.
I will take care of it. There is no such thing. What do you want to judge a whole yeshiva on 3-5 that you saw, which I don't know where they came from, I don't know who they were. What was, what, my Bachman, how do you,
I know the videos, and that's the one walking with shopping bags coming from Newday, passing this by.
my Bachman, if that happens, if Chaim Shabbos has been back at Shirley since day one, 16 years, he's there full day. I could tell you,
Mr.
I will take care of it.
Respectfully.
You don't know these boys.
What about when the attack them on Simchas Torah? I was standing there. So I'm just explaining to you, when a 19-year-old butler sees his Rav being attacked.
And by the way, my wife's Persian.
You have to go on.
And it wasn't about me. Because she didn't know. I want to invite you in.
Can I just say something?
I want to do something.
I want to know why it's easy.
You want to talk to Puerto Rican?
Those two ladies that are sitting there waiting. I'm just telling you. What?
We haven't done GMOs that prove that. This is Weaver. Did you ever hear? Mrs. Weaver, did you ever hear GMOs go through that process? Like, this wasn't slam dunk. It was so
Everything else that I heard was Stop saying this and I'm with the work. I help anyway, forget about everything.
See, right now, I'm losing my spot. I really couldn't handle it tonight.
Mr. I really appreciate that. I was the first code from before the board from board got in. I want you to know that and I now work for the city, New York City, fighting him. I actually appreciate all the objections and all the things, because this is going to stop. Yeah, I know. From hopefully from just going with. I know. I just want you to know. I will actually appreciate that Yaida Aina can't do this. Although now I can't turn my house into a yeshiva. Oh my God. No, are you kidding? I could have done a yeshiva already. Yeah.
Mr. Cavell.
I didn't even recognize you. You look 20 years younger.
No.
Clerk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She suffered the abuse of neglect.
You certainly do. You certainly do. Quite
Sitting at attorney's place?
Sure. You already spent $20,000 on travel study. Shall I have an attorney?
Attorney now.
Come on, let's do this.
I didn't get a seat. All right.
What?
You give me that look.
It's a look of, I like you, you're a good guy.
I am blunt. No, boy. I'm not gonna say.
Well, people that are blunt, there's no misunderstanding.
What? Yeah.
There's no misunderstanding. All right, let's do this.
Go get them.
Come on, let's do this. Go get them. It's getting late.
One second, didn't I see you here before once? Seriously.
He's been here for a couple
I'm here
days.
for Blue Rail. What?
Blue Rail.
Now I'm here for my shoe. Oh, you looked awful familiar to me. Yes. What?
Thank you.
You were here for the nice dinner, no?
No, no. He was there
The
for.
guy that was here before. What? That was the guy that was
Yeah, I
here
was
before.
there before. Guy ran out.
Okay.
What were you here for?
I'm just saying.
Blue Rail.
Blue Rail.
Saddle River. You were here once before.
Saddle River. The 100.
Blue Rail.
All right, Mr. Chairman, it's
Did
getting
you-
real
Public
cold.
hearing on the
You didn't,
application.
you didn't buy him the corner lot. You wanted to buy the corner as a approval, part of the approval.
Okay, ready?
It's getting
Yes.
cold. Let's
Mr. Crash Hour.
Dan?
Okay, let's go.
Public hearing on the application of Congregation of Stila, 2 Beatrice Road, for required variances with regard to a special permit and site plan for a freestanding house of worship. The proposed house of worship will be 7,976 square feet with an accessory mikvah of 388 square feet. The sanctuary area is approximately 3,300 square feet. A total of 54 parking spaces are required and 25 spaces are provided. The ADS space will be located closer to the main entrance where a level entrance is available. The parking would be sufficient for weekday gatherings when driving would be permitted. On Shabbos and holidays, the congregations would walk to shul. They don't drive on Shabbos? Okay. Variances are being requested from Article 3, 210-15, Attachment 5, Table 2, R40 of the Residential District Bulk Requirements of Airmont Zoning's Code as follows. Variances needed. Minimum lot area required 40,000 square feet, provided 35,359 square feet. Minimum front setback 50 feet, required 49.7 feet, provided. Minimum front yard to parking 50 feet, required 4.8 feet, provided. Minimum side set 25 feet, required 20.9 feet, provided. Maximum developmental coverage 20% required, 40% provided. Parking spaces, 54 spaces required, 25 spaces provided. The property is located on the east side of Beatrix Road, approximately 0 feet north of Smith Hill Road. The lot is designated as section 61.07, block 2, lot 23 on the town of Ramapo tax map. The property is located in the R40 zoning district and is comprised of 0.82 acres. The address is 2 Beatrix Road, Airmont, New York 10901.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, please.
I have a question right off the bat
Please.
of the applicant, because I live nearby. It's my neighborhood.
Okay. Not sure where you live.
I live down Smith Hill on Montclair Avenue.
Okay.
Okay,
On
so
the back of you.
I travel all the time on Smith Hill Road. So it's already existing sort of as a freestanding or a residential house of worship. My wife keeps correcting me on how I pronounce that word. At this time,
Yes.
to what extent, and you know, could you, and then you know, go into what you're
It's gonna be
adding.
Don't
used
be
as the
ashamed.
same use, we're not adding additional congregants, it's just that it doesn't fit our use currently.
So you're going to be, single-family house is there, okay, which is being used as a, I guess we'll call it a sanctuary.
Correct.
Parking areas on the lower part of the property.
Correct.
So this is to sort of formalize it and allow this board to consider variances for parking in addition.
That is correct.
You didn't build nothing new, it's just.
No, we're looking to add a section to the back of the house.
Can you point out what's existing and what's?
So there's an existing house here, and the proposal is to put the addition in the back.
Oh.
And then there is a structure here that will be used as the mikveh. The parking is provided down here. There's a staircase with a sidewalk to get up to the main level because, as we all know, Smith Hill is going down the hill. But because of the elevation change, that's why the handicap parking space is up here, so that they can get into the main access on a level ground, because this is up higher level to the front of the building.
Is part of the plan to pave that area that's used for parking now that's
Yeah,
not paved?
the parking lot will be paved.
Parking
It'll be like a real parking lot,
That's what I'm
pavement,
asking.
stripes, yeah.
And where is there a mikveh there currently, or
Yeah.
you're adding it?
The existing structure is a mikveh.
But they're legal.
There's no.
It'll be, yeah, this is to legalize it.
Okay.
Now, question. What you are adding, how many square foot is that? Footprint
Not
of it?
looking behind.
It's
looking
50
behind.
by 50.
There's no
2,500 square
connection
feet.
between the mikveh and the building. It's two separate buildings, and it rains. And yeah.
That's how it was done. That's how it's
Why
done.
don't you connect them?
Because it's a very odd.
Okay, now, that 2,500 square feet that you're adding, is it the basement, is that freestand? Or you have poles in it?
I have no idea.
We didn't do any structural
Yeah.
plans, but I'm assuming it's gonna have some columns. It's a pretty wide span.
I'll tell you, be very blunt with you what I'm concerned about. 2,500 square feet, if you make it an event hall.
Want to put on a note that limits it?
Not a note, I was thinking of limiting the height of the ceiling.
In the basement?
Yeah.
Okay, so
8 feet,
I
so
will
you're
say
good.
that I would not suggest that, just because the elevation change plays a part into into what your ceiling height is. But if you put a limitation onto like the use, which I mean, they could do that like we do on the schools.
We
So
did. The planning
when
board does it
everybody's
on all
concerned
schools.
about the schools having it,
Don't we have structural engineers for that?
Structural engineers.
I'm not a structural engineer.
No, his concern is it shouldn't be used as an event hall.
Yeah, if
Again,
his
we have
concern
no
is the
intention of
event
using it as an
hall-
event hall.
No, because
The
it's
property
built
is so
on
sloped
slopes. I
that
don't know.
the basement is being generated by default.
yeah.
And,
So basically, because of the elevation change,
Very high
if
slope.
it's limited, the ceilings in the basement will be
I got it.
higher.
It's about 14
But otherwise,
feet
you'd
the
be
difference
filling
from the
in
back.
just to.
They're probably gonna pay $100,000 for retaining walls. Yeah, if you.
We have
What
retaining
is
Yeah,
the,
there's retaining walls and things like that.
What's the current, in loose terms, the membership?
Sorry?
Membership, how many members do you have currently?
Between 40 to 50,
Okay.
and everyone has kids, 2 or 3. So.
There's no
Yeah,
way we can
please.
make more than 26 parking spots.
I mean, you can see you're pretty filled here.
We've done an extensive traffic study and a parking study for the current use, and I can tell you, I count cars every week. We haven't yet exceeded 23, and that's on the busiest times ever.
Drugom da van mij daar.
Everybody parks on the road. They don't park on the street.
Is public comment open?
Yeah, the public
What?
hearing didn't start
I'm
yet.
asking if public comment is
No,
open.
not
because
open.
someone takes part.
Can we make a motion to open the public hearing?
Any of the other members have any?
Second.
Wait, you opened it, Joel?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have one person that
Hi,
wants to speak.
I'm Janet Giannacchio, 3 Beatrix Road. I live right across the street. Just want to clarify some things so everybody knows you live in the area apparently. So the mikvah's been up for 3 years and it's fully functioning and running. My mother owns the property, 96 years old. She sits in the window and she sees everything going on. There is definitely more than 30, 40 congregants. I'm not here to dispel that. What I'm here is, I don't want the lights shining in my windows.
That will be in the
I
planning
do
board.
appreciate the last time though I was here, I believe it was you, Chairman, you said make these people happy. I did not have any problem with anybody blocking my driveway anymore. My neighbor who became our liaison of the congregation and everything, they put their foot down and so did the rabbi that people were to stop moving the cone so I can get in and out of my driveway without a problem. Thank you very much. I really truly appreciate it. It's made our life a lot better. But the lights are a problem, and I do have a problem with looking at a parking lot. We live in Airmont.
What about the lighting?
That will be just at the
Well,
planning board.
Just right
wanna take
now,
her minute.
just right now, the light, this is not even a parking lot, just the
So
front
easy
light.
to fix.
It shines through my whole house. But now if you're gonna put a parking lot there, you're gonna have to put lights there. Why can't you put the handicap parking up on the driveway so they can literally walk right into the bottom?
Or you could put lights that shine strictly down.
Straight down, yep.
That's
or-
much easier.
I mean,
and much
you
more
understand, I want to live peacefully and just not be able to be bothered with light pollution
Good. Your comment?
or noise.
I think that we ought to get that accommodated.
I know, but I
I
want
mean-
everybody else
That's
saying.
a planning board issue.
Yeah, it's
So
planning-
when we came to the
you can
planning
make
board,
the
the neighbor brought up the
recommendation.
issue.
We can make the
We have
recommendation
since
to
shielded the light, and we do have a new lighting plan for the future parking, and it's gonna be based on the requirements, so that we don't.
And that the
What
lights
about
will
s-
shine downwards.
What
Right,
about,
that lighting plan is gonna be provided
What
to the
is-
planning
light-
board.
what is your name again?
Jen,
We have a
so the light
fence
is
around
on the deck, that's on the second floor, which comes through.
Okay, talk.
Maybe you ought to get yourself invited to Janet's front porch or to her living room.
Yep.
Yes.
I
One
picture
early
that, Jay.
evening, and I don't think she'll attack you or anything, to see what she sees,
so easy
because
to
if I were
fix.
living there, I'd be pretty
So-
upset.
So like I said, since the planning board, we have shielded that lights, we have lowered it. She's saying it's still going there. All these lights are
Fix it
coming
again.
off. All these lights
So
are coming off. We have a new lighting
Yeah,
plan.
you gotta do what you gotta do
You
there.
gotta do it,
So,
and it should not be that difficult.
And you know, if
It's
you're
not
coming
too
up
difficult
Smith
at all.
That's
Hill,
what he's saying. It's
honestly,
going to
you
come
come up
down.
Smith Hill, you can be at the Smith Hill Church intersection, and all you see is that whole upper house lit up. The whole side and the back is completely lit up. You're talking about the previous people that you wanted to conform and be part of, like, look like the resident, but it's not. You know, when you have, I mean, listen, I like the night sky, okay? I'm a person that sits outside, peaceful, I just wanna watch the stars go by. That's all I wanna do. You know, that's me. I don't want light pollution, and nobody should. Everybody moved up from the city to have the country. Enjoy it. Don't have these big buildings and lights. Enjoy the beauty of the nature we have here. Airmont is a very beautiful place. I've been here 56 years. My parents bought this house. And I'm gonna tell you, you wanna know how strong we are about this? Today is the 6th anniversary of my brother's passing, but she insisted on we had to come to this instead of being home with the family and mourning my brother's death.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you, but we're here because this Airmont meant so much to her, and my father, and my brother, and me. I just wanna live peacefully.
Your
That's all
com- Okay, your
That's all I'm
comment.
asking.
We agree to everything she said. I have a lighting plan that was provided by a lighting engineer that will be.
And we'll address her concerns.
100%.
And I will tell you one other
Rachel
thing.
look at it and tell me if she thinks it's gonna.
I will tell you one other thing. I do invite everybody to come. You can come sit in my back deck and you will see the lights come through. But I will tell you one thing, and I will tell you this. I have been watching their roof for 3 years. And I'll tell you why. I have a high ranch just like they do. They removed all the walls on the top floor. You removed all the walls. I have watched and I have taken pictures because I'm concerned and I'm amused on how the roof went straight, and now over time the roof is buckling really bad, and I can show the timeline. God forbid, we have been lucky that we have not had heavy snows. God forbid that we get a real serious snowstorm in here, that's going. There is no walls in that upper thing, because you could see inside. Everybody's
Lou is very competent.
What's your address, man?
3 Beatrix.
Mr., can I ask, Mr. Zumo?
Yes.
Is removing interior structural walls on a raised ranch create a potential catastrophic
If they're load bearing, and how?
implosion of the
Don't need an
roof?
engineer.
My family's in construction. We've had 50 years, we owned a company. I may be a woman, but I know, okay? I know about some, I know
Don't
retaining walls.
underestimate yourself, come
You know,
on.
and some of it's just common sense. And like I said, I can show you the timeline pictures. I'm across the street from my driveway. You could see the roof now, from point to point, you see the pitch.
That's not in front of this board.
Well, that's a building department.
No, I
That's a
know,
building
but my
department
point
issue.
is, you know, yes,
And
there's,
I trust.
What height are the poles the lighting are on?
That roof had a belly in it when they bought the house.
Exactly. And everything we did was
when
done
they took
with.
out the interior walls, they put in structural reinforcement.
Oh, okay, thank you for
Okay.
saying that. All right.
Thank you.
He's
Approved by
quite
an
confident. Oh, I know, yeah. I'm just saying, you could see from one end to the other, so I didn't see any columns.
All right, that's good information, Lou.
All
right.
And the bottom line,
Question, when
you have
we
to have
open
a
the
structure,
public
you have to have a
hearing,
lighting
I got a
engineer
second. Are you all
that
in
has to
favor of
address
that?
our concerns.
Because
Yep,
no, we
and
need
that'll
to-
be, the
Everybody
lighting
was
will
in favor of
be
opening
part
the public
of
hearing?
planning
Yes.
review, but it will be part of
How high are
the,
the poles, the lighting poles?
15 feet.
15? The standard residence is 12. And you said there's shielded fixtures. There's a full cutoff with 0 light spill beyond the property line. That's part of what they talked about on the
That is
lighting
correct.
plan? Is a dimmer schedule on them?
Probably not a dimmer, it just shuts off at night.
And that's actually my final question, and I don't mean to sound ignorant, but are there hours of operation? Like, at some point, should maybe the high stadium lights be lowered and shut off, or, and I understand on holidays and when the shops can, but I'm just wondering, like, Monday through Wednesday, Thursday, do these lights need to
No,
be?
they don't wanna spend, they don't wanna, excuse me, my foot. They don't wanna needlessly burn electricity, it costs money.
The lights are on all the time, 24/7. That's what I'm asking, like,
They're LEDs, they're very efficient.
they never shut them off, it's constant lights.
Once again, this is a planning board issue, and it comes up a lot, and it's usually addressed, so that, no light can bleed over.
It's not supposed to cross, but the only reason I'm bringing this up is because you're talking about putting a parking lot technically in the front where my house is gonna be, and you're gonna be putting lights there, so therefore, it does not conform into the residential area, you're making a parking lot. You
What
paved
time do
parking,
they shut off?
they don't, that's what I'm asking.
Why don't they shut them down at 11 or 30% after 10 PM or something like that?
When we'll have new stuff, we can do more things. Right
What about
now,
landscape? You got some kind of
We have-
landscape plan?
we have landscape.
Is that something that should be discussed with, the planning board? As far as, I mean, we could recommend.
Additional.
We could recommend, severe screening of the parking lot from the front, from the road.
I don't have any, we don't have any issues, listen, we really care for a lot of our neighbors, they're really wonderful people, okay? I get along very well with them. I just don't want, the parking lot in front of my house is gonna bother me. I get it, maybe it's only 2 spots, that kind of does bother me because, I'd rather look at a house than look at cars parked and pavement. I really don't wanna do that.
Well, that's why,
Yeah, so
The driveway
the-
would be in front of the house as well.
So these are these are the 2 spaces, and as I said, the reason that we have is we needed to have the handicap parking space so that it was level to get into the building. This lot is considerably lower than this part of the building, so it is not, it
So,
doesn't.
but what
work for
entrance
them.
are they getting into the building? Because if they're
There's a-
going in the back, they have to walk down to get to the basement. If they're going over the front, that's a pretty rugged terrain too, because you've got all the big trees and the roots. Are they removing all the trees in
There
the
is
front?
a staircase that is proposed to get from the parking lot up to the main level, which would be level with the front of the building. So this is the handicap spot. We had room for an additional parking space. We did put a second space up here just because we had room, and there was the concern about, could we fit in more parking? That was a spot that we could fit in another. The existing driveway is here. It is also steeper. The requirements for a parking space, for a handicap parking space, it can only be a maximum of 2% slope, which exceeds what the existing driveway is. Generally, through a regular parking lot, you're looking at a 5% slope. The driveway where you would be driving if you're not parking on it. Like if it was a residence, you can go up at 10% and then level out a bit. So the existing driveway is steeper than what would be allowed for a handicap spot. So just so at least there's an explanation as to why we put this space here. Not to look to have a second parking lot. Obviously, like it's more expensive. It, you know, it's other things that they have to deal with, but it provides the handicap accessibility.
Okay, I think we ought to move this meeting.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make a anybody else wants to speak?
No, that's another person that wanted to speak.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the public
I
hearing.
second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Conditionally on the lighting.
Conditionally on the lighting being approved by the planning board. With
What was that first thing you said? The light-
condition on the lighting being approved by the planning board.
What about your first concern when you were first talking, or is that not a condition?
What
Yeah, that's
concern?
Just,
No, that was not a
Okay.
concern.
All right. I just wrote it down as a question.
It's an engineering concern, not a
Okay.
the load capacity. Is
Can we also add a recommendation to the planning board?
Yeah.
That they provide screening of the parking lot?
Yeah.
With something green and tall, you know, whatever the planning board would
The
get
problem
in.
with that- the problem with that is the parking lot sits behind the building, which is, it's screened by the building. You can't screen to the road because it'll be a line of sight issue, we won't be able to see.
You're talking about Smith Hill Road, screening, you're saying.
And that parking lot exits onto a turn on Smith Hill Road, an uphill turn.
On the
So they
other
can't-
side?
They can't put bushes on either side of that. 'cause you won't
Okay,
be able to
all
see
right,
them.
take it back. All right,
So
All
no
right.
recommendation of,
Well, they could screen the downhill side of the parking lot, but you can't screen the road side.
all right, so recommendation to the planning board for that aspect of the parking lot. I would add to the motion, and you recommended lighting, okay?
Lighting being approved.
Yeah, done by an approved lighting engineer.
I already have those plans.
That's okay.
It's submitted to architecture review board and it does not.
Doesn't need to be approved by the neighbors, it needs to be approved by the planning board.
okay?
Uh,
And by, obviously with the licensed engineer. Okay, I second that motion.
I'll make a roll call.
We don't have GML.
There's no GML, just, let's, for the record, I'll read the letters really quick, the dates, and what they are, so you have them. Town of Ramapo, October 29th. Rockland County Sewer, October 22nd, Albany Fire, August 27th. I put in the traffic study, that was okay, August 12th and August 6th. Town of Ramapo, DPW, October 29th. And that's everything. All right, so you want me to do a roll call vote on that motion?
Yeah.
All right, Richard Berger,
I vote to approve, on condition, the lighting is approved by the planning board. Otherwise, I approve.
okay. Mr. Brander?
Yeah, approve subject to the lighting being approved by the plan.
Same for me.
Okay. Joe Strulitz?
I'll vote to approve. Reasons stated.
Stated. And Mr. Cavell?
Vote to approve, and welcome it to the neighborhood, and, with respect to the condition on lighting, be referred to the planning board for deep consideration to improve lighting and to have much less detrimental effect on neighboring properties.
Okay, so motion carries for variances 5-0.
Good. Thank you. Okay, I make a motion to close this session and we're out of here.
Second.
All right, and I will send a reminder email.
Good.
Yeah, who
Second.
seconded that motion?
Marty.
Marty?
Yes.
Remember, December 2nd, I will, it's a Tuesday, I will send an email.
See you.
reminder.
You can send
Thank
a
you.
email.
Thank you.
Okay?
We only have one application, 46 Campbell returning.
You have?
I know you. No, I'll be out for
Oh,
ARC,
Yeah.
Monday night, and final findings on.
let me just start.
Back next week.
I don't know if it's a requirement, it's an advisory.
I know.
Without just doing
You can go along with